Hi, how have you been? I don't even know still remember me, but I know y'all remember me as yeah. It's been about a month since I uploaded, and I don't even know if y'all see my community post where I said was like I was going to return June the 10th, and I said, but this video is going to explain why I've been gone for about a month. Thursday morning, and my brother asks me if I could drive. I was very tired and I didn't feel like driving in the morning, but since I still need to get in my driving hours, I decided was to just drive in the morning to school. While I'm driving to school in the car with my dad and my brother sitting in the back seat, it's I'm getting right to where the student drive through is at, and by the time I'm turning the wheel, I forgot to put my foot on the brake. I had my foot on the pedal and I just swerved in, and I almost probably hit almost the edge of the gate. And my dad's just sitting in the car just yelling at me because I didn't slow down once I was turning in, and my dad did have a point. And by the time I get to the student parking lot, I was just about to park, and my dad just tells me is to park in front of the ticket booth, to where my dad will always drop off me and my brother every day in the mornings. And we get me and my brother, we get out of the car, and I was just very pissed at my dad because this is not the only time my dad has done this. Anytime I drove with my dad, I don't know, 7 times, and my dad will always yell at me in the car and always criticize my driving skills, especially my brother, because anytime I'm in the car with my brother will always say is I drive very reckless, but he can't be talking if he's the one just sitting in the back of the seat just doing nothing while just being on his phone. But continuing back, we get out of the car, and even though I was still pissed at my dad for yelling at me, my brother was just trying to tell me I almost did a good job, but I took it the wrong way by cussing him out. And that's not the only time I cuss him out. I cuss him out so many times when I'm always driving in the car with my dad, and he always criticizes my driving. But while we're walking up to the school, I see Ryder and another dude that I don't know of, but he always calls my brother 4-5 since my brother did play the JV football team. And I go to Ryder, and I told him that my brother wanted to be a B, but I'm not gonna say the word because. But I go to Ryder, and I told him that my brother wanted to be a B because of my driving. And when my brother comes up to the car, I wasn't expecting Ryder and his friend to tell my brother that I called him a B. And we come home. Basically, I came home first, and my brother came home probably late at night since he had Crosby Scholars, and I'm just downstairs just washing the dishes, and my brother's just sitting at the chair eating his food while I'm talking with my sister. And my brother said your brother is so lucky I haven't told mom and dad what happened. And I look at my brother, and I was hoping he didn't like say anything, especially my sister, because anytime I'm having like conversations with my brother, my sister will always like hop into our conversations to see what we're talking about. But while I'm like washing dishes, my mom calls me and my brother and my sister upstairs just to see like what we were talking about. And I look at basically my mom asks me what happened, and especially my dad. And I was trying to act like nothing didn't happen and we were just talking about something else. And I look at my brother, and I was expecting him to not tell them what happened, but my brother says this, sorry Zach, I had to do this. He tells like everything about what happened, about everything what I did to him, just like everything that I done to my brother this morning before like my dad dropped before me and him got out of the car. I just started like cussing him out. And it's not just that, my brother even told my parents that's not just like the only time I did cuss him out. I did cuss him other times. I did cuss him out so many other times. And I look at my dad, and my dad looks at me. He was very upset, and he takes my phone. He took my whole phone away, and I was very like mad at myself, and for like what I did. And my dad told me was like not to ask back for my phone for a while. And I told myself, since my brother wanted to be a big snitch, but I don't even know if it's like snitching if like he told the exact truth. But I feel like he did snitch on me. But when he did snitch on me, I told myself, you know what? Since you want to be a big snitch, I'm gonna get my payback. And it's probably about like 10 p.m. and my brother was like already asleep. And I'm still up watching TV. And since my brother was already knocked out, his phone was still left on, even though I didn't know his password or anything. I thought it would be cool to get my revenge and just go on his phone and just text all of his friends and tell him like basically me impersonating him, saying is, hey, I snitched on my brother, got his phone taken away, he's crying like a big baby, I'm Takashi69 aka Snitch9. And it's like the next day, it's Friday morning, and me and my brother woke up very late. And by the time we got up, I was not expecting my brother to go on his phone and to check his Snapchat this early. And my brother looks at me and says, Zach, what the F to me 10 times. And I told my brother, next time you want to be a big snitch, don't sell me out next time. But I'm looking at my brother. He was like very like angry at me. Like he was already like, his temper was already like to a 100. And like, even though on that Thursday night when I was mad at him, he did give me a chicken sandwich that night, and I did eat it. The day when the school was selling chicken sandwiches, and my brother's talking to me, and he told me was, I gave you a chicken sandwich, and this is how you repay me by going on my phone and texting by impersonating me, by texting all my friends on how I snitched on you, in which I didn't snitch. I was gonna tell the truth no matter what. But I told he also thought I did tell his friends on Instagram, but I didn't go to his Instagram. The only thing we went to was just his Snapchat. And my brother, and it's not just that, my brother even said this: if you want to be petty, then I'm gonna be petty too. And even though I never even heard the song Petty, but I never even heard the song, but he did say it was like, if you want to be petty, then I'm gonna be petty too. He goes to my dad and tells that, and then tells our dad that but to what I did on his phone behind his back. And we hop in the car, and my dad asks me, like, I feel like it was like the stupidest question, and he asked me what's a snitch? I'm just all like, how's my dad's like 7 years old, and he doesn't know what a snitch is. It's basically like tattling, or basically like being Tekashi 6ix9ine, and we all know who Tekashi 6ix9ine is. He snitched on a bunch of people, and people's already hunting him down and stuff. But while we're like driving to the school, my dad's having like the biggest conversation with me, and he just told me was that was very stupid and retarded of me impersonating him and texting all of his friends. And my dad asked my brother how many of his friends did I text, and my brother says it was a full 28, and my dad said I couldn't get my phone for 28 weeks. No, not 28 weeks. Since I texted all of his friends, since he had a full 28, basically he said 4 weeks. And we get out of the car, and my brother did not even want to say one word to me, and he just told me like move on, just go. And I just told myself, I'm just very upset at what I did. But wait, there is one part that I did left out in the story right here. But even though in the morning he did say this to me as well. He did say he didn't want to see me again. He wished I went to. He said he wished he never see me again. He wished that I was never his brother, and he wished I went to hell. In which made me like very like. Maybe like a bit anxious to what I'm saying, but at the school I was very angry at myself, and all my friends are like coming to me and like asking me like what's wrong with me, why I won't say anything, and especially my bro Jaden, like he even asked me like why am I not saying anything to him, because he was having a bad day and nobody didn't like say anything to him at all, and plus everybody was angry with Jaden for like no reason. But while it's like 4th period, even though I didn't have my phone or my computer, I see Daniel leave out the oxygen, so I said I'm gonna just follow him. So I follow Daniel, and I see that he walks all the way to his car, and since he was going to his car, I was already planning to like run away anyways. But while I'm like walking off of school campus, he does ask me, hey, where am I going? And I said it was none of his business. So we move on with our day. He moves on with his day. I move on with mine. And while I'm like walking, I see Henry like drive past me saying what's up. And like I was just about to run to his car and probably ask him if he can maybe give me a ride home early. But even though I didn't have my house key or anything, and I had no way of getting in, but while I'm like running away, I'm like still like I walked all the way from the school to the speedway. But while I'm like halfway walking to the school, I see my mom's car drive right past me, and I couldn't tell if my mom even recognized me or not. But while while she did like drive past me, I ran to like the special garage where they're like fixing cars and stuff. And like I do like see like a bunch of men just like walking. So I hid like right behind like a big white truck. And while I hid behind like the big truck, I decided was to like probably like take a nap in the truck. And while I'm trying to take a nap, it was like really cold. And even though I was only wearing a hoodie, and it was like really cold, like I was already freezing my butt off. And I go on my computer just to see what time it was, and I look on my computer, it's 3:27, and I didn't even know what time I even left to school. But I don't even know how long it was I sleep for, but by the time I wake up at 3:37, I just said I'm gonna just keep walking. And while I'm walking, I go all the way to the speedway. I use the bathroom. And I'm just sitting there at the trash can, just freezing my butt off while reading a March book by John Lewis. And I don't even know what time it was, but it was probably like 5 or maybe 6. And while I'm just sitting there, I see one of the football players that I recognize that goes to the same school I'm in right now, and his name is Zion Saunders. And Zion asks, he sees me sitting all by myself, just like reading my book, and he comes to me and asks what was going on, and I said was like nothing. I'm just like running away from my family, and we're just like having a conversation for about 5 minutes. And he did tell me this, like, I can't just run away from my problems because my family will probably be worried about me. And he did tell me for himself, he did run away from his family when he did get his phone taken away and things were probably not going his way. And he did tell me he walked all the way to the laundromat and he slept there for about 3 to 4 weeks. He even told me he even did tell one of his friends if he could probably like stay at one of their houses. But his parents did find him though. But he did work out things with his family. And while we were talking, he did ask me what was I about to do next. And I told him I was probably gonna keep walking just to continue on with my day. And while I'm just like standing there just talking with him, I did ask him if he could give me a ride home, in which he was really kind of like bringing me home. But while he drives me to my house, he did say it was like he did want to like talk with my mom. And we get to my house, and I really did not want to go to the door. Cause knowing I felt like I was maybe gonna probably get whooped, or maybe I don't know. But I go to the door, I ring the doorbell, I see my little sister just at the door, just saying that I'm already at the house, And while I get to the house, I see my mom. She was like very flabbergasted, and it's not just that. My mom even told me that she's been like trying to know like where I was at, and she told me was like where was I at, and I thought lying to her would be the specific thing, but I knew lying probably wouldn't help. So I tell her the truth about everything that was going on, and she said was like, you doing this over just a phone? And basically, to be honest, it wasn't just over the phone. This wasn't just about the phone. It was just about everything that I have done like over the past years. And that's not just the only time I ran away. There were like, so so many times like in my childhood where like I might like get in trouble in school, or I might do something like very wrong at home. And anytime like I get like hurt by my dad or maybe like my mom, I always told myself I wanted to run away. But then I just said, I'm not gonna run away. I'm gonna just give my parents chances and chances and chances. But while we're talking, my mom told me what she even had the whole school looking for me, my brother, and and some of my friends were also looking for me as well. And I get to the school. My mom tells me to go to my room. I'm in my room just like sitting down, reading my book. And my mom comes in the room and she wanted to have a very serious talk. And she said what she was just like very ballistic or very flabbergasted that I done the stupidest thing that I ever did. Like I probably could have. She said I probably could have gotten killed out here in these streets. I probably could have gotten captured, or I maybe probably would have gotten brave to have my body buried in the woods. But my mom even said she did pray that an angel will come guide me and come keep me alive. But she's lucky that Zion came and probably like saw me just sitting there. But if it wasn't for Zion, I would have gotten home safely by him. But it's like, but I was on punishment for like the longest, and on my punishment, I'm already in my bed like asleep, and my brother was just asleep in the guest room for like weeks since I was on punishment. And since we had a appointment the next day, my dad didn't say anything to me for like the whole day. Basically, my whole family didn't say nothing to me for like the next 3 days. And while I'm just trying to like chill and just calm down, my brother and my sisters kept like talking about the situation, about my stupid runaway stuff over and over and over and over. And I was just trying to get that stuff like cleared out of my head, but they just kept making things worse. And since I had like some big problems, my parents said was like they were gonna do therapy for me, in which I done therapy like 5 times, and this time I really did not even want a therapist. And plus, my only therapist that I like talking to is only just my brother. Even though he's not a therapist, he's like a therapist to me, because I talk to my oldest brother just like mostly like every single day, or I maybe might be texting him. But they did give me therapy, and in which I'm already doing therapy right now. But when I get to school, my friends, especially Tennille, she even did ask me where I was at, and I really did not want to tell none of my friends like the real situation to what was going on. So I just made up a big fat racist lie by saying I skipped school just to go to a party, in which I never went to a party. But I never did go to a party. But everything is already going fine right now. Everything's already cleared up. I'm already, to be honest, I'm already like getting. But this story right here is basically the whole truth and clearing everything on why I was gone for a month. And since I am now officially back on YouTube, I have came up with some ideas on some games on which I'll be playing, and even though I was gone for a month, I already told myself was I'm not gonna be Corey Kitchen where he was gone for 9 months.
Officer, right there. FBI, come on in.
Or I'm not gonna be Jaden the creator where he was gone for 5 months. No offense, Jaden, but if you do see this video, I'm sorry, man. But we're back on YouTube, and I might drop a gaming video probably next week or maybe Saturday. But thank you for listening to the story if you made it through this video all the way. But